And welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show, folks. You know, it's not often that you hear common sense when it comes to guns. And so many studies have been done, and the media ignores them and distorts them. And these studies show that where people are allowed to carry weapons, and I know those of you in big cities listening say, carry weapons? What is this, the wild, wild west? People all over the country are allowed to carry weapons if they're law-abiding citizens and don't have any problems. And those are the places with less crime rates, lower crime rates, because the bad guys don't know and have to think, well, maybe this guy or this woman is armed. It makes sense. So they're going to hesitate. If you're in a gun-free zone, the criminal will have the gun, and they'll know that their victim or potential victim will not be armed. Joining us now is the police chief of the city of Detroit, James Craig. Hello, Chief. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. You had the nerve, the utter nerve, to rock the boat and say the other day at a police press conference, announcing a 7% drop in violent crime in 2013 for Detroit, that you think that the way to keep crime going down and lower crime is for law-abiding citizens to carry guns.
Well, I believe in good Americans, that are responsible. I mean, hey, we live in a violent society. And I'm not saying that's the only reason why we realize a drop in crime, but I will tell you that these streetwise violent predators in Detroit are savvy enough that when they're out committing their violent acts, some of them are wearing protective body armor. But not only do they wear protective body armor, in some instances, the same violent criminals will make victims disrobe to verify whether or not they're actually armed. I found it kind of odd. After spending so many years in Los Angeles with organized gangs, it was times where gang members would wear body armor, but it was usually to protect themselves from other gang members. Well, here, we believe, and the research bears this out in a lot of places, is that they are afraid of good citizens who are armed. In fact, one researcher suggested, after going in to talk with prisoners, that they're more afraid of armed citizens than they are armed police officers. I think that makes a significant statement.
Yeah, because they probably figure police officers have their hands tied in so many ways. I know here in New York, even before de Blasio, which is going to be a nightmare in my opinion, but there's this slogan that police officers have that I'm sure you're well aware of: I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. But still in all, with the lawsuits and the internal investigations, anytime a police officer pulls that trigger, he or she knows that they're going to be subjected to all kinds of scrutiny. Rightfully so in some instances, don't get me wrong, but even when it comes down to defending themselves.
It's troubling when I hear people suggest to me that, well, Chief, you're trying to introduce more guns into a society. That increases crime. Well, how do you figure that? So I guess it's okay for the criminals who carry guns illegally. Do you think they're going to be sanctioned? If we could get guns out of the hands of criminals, we wouldn't have this discussion right now. They're arming themselves. They have armed themselves. And, and I know the stories of the elderly that are attacked here in Detroit that have been pulled out of cars at gunpoint. In one instance, an elderly woman sexually assaulted in her home. And here's another fun fact for the critics, is clearly this. So you look at home invasions where people are inside their homes. Now, in Great Britain and England, where there's tight gun control, research showed that 50% of the home invasions are when people are inside their homes. Now, in contrast, in the United States, only 13% of the home invasions with people inside are committed. Why? Because most burglars know that, one, they don't want to go inside of a home where the residents are, because there's a likelihood they might be armed. And that's why the burglars tend to err on the side of going in during the daytime when folks are at work.
Chief, we're talking about Detroit Police Chief James Craig. We only have a minute and a half left. Sir, are you getting a lot of pushback? And maybe the question is, why doesn't your common sense extend beyond you when it comes to democratic thought? You know, I'm not saying you're a Democrat. You probably are, but why is it?
Why am I probably? You don't know why.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. Because all right, well, tell me, because statistically, 95% of African Americans voted for Barack Obama. So tell me, what are you?
Well, I'm a good American.
Okay.
That's what I am. I'm a good American who believes that we have had enough is enough, that we have, I started my policing career here in Detroit, and I've returned after 33 years, having spent the lion's share of my career in Los Angeles. You know, I have a firm belief that what we see in this city, the good people of Detroit want this madness to stop.
All right. Do you think you'll get your way? Do you think you'll have right to carry in Detroit anytime soon?
They have it.
Okay.
Good Detroiters are CPL holders here. They're good Detroiters that will confront armed suspects.
Good.
Here in Detroit.
Listen, Chief, I'd love to continue this another time. God bless you for what you're doing, and thank you very much for joining me.
Okay, you're welcome, sir.
Take care. That's Detroit Police Chief James Craig, ladies and gentlemen. Well, hour number 1 of the Steve Malzberg Show has evaporated. I don't know why I said evaporated. Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax TV and radio.